The other day, a friend asked me if I was able to maintain any of my normal daily practices or habits in the throes of new motherhood, in the first couple of weeks postpartum. And I have to say that some things I've let go, like the way that I meditate has changed. Some things I've had to pause, like my workouts, I haven't been able to do for obvious reasons as I'm healing for recovery and recovering from birth. But one practice that has only grown stronger and has only proved more worthwhile during this early postpartum time is my daily practice of gratitude journaling. This has been my bedside companion and something that I'm so grateful for. I've practiced gratitude journaling for many years now. In the morning, I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. I reflect on them, I feel them in my body. And it's an experience that really just starts my day on such a bright and light and loving note. But what I've noticed, especially during the early postpartum time, when things can feel crazy at moments or overwhelming or so joy-filled at times, is that the gratitude practice has expanded to really hold me during all times of the day and of the night. It's really during the times that feel most hectic that I notice how I'm showing up differently. And I have to say that it's undeniable, the impact of the gratitude journaling practice on that way of showing up and on that way of being. In this postpartum, I can sense how much more present I have been to my son, to myself, to my family, and also how much more appreciative and thankful I've been, not just of the wonderful things like watching my son smile for the first time, which might bring tears to my eyes right now, but also the appreciation for sitting down for a family meal, or even for helping to clean that family meal up and being together. So the other thing that I really appreciate about the practice of gratitude journaling as a new mom is that it doesn't take a lot of time to complete. At the start of the new year, I committed to a yoga 45 minutes a day challenge. That takes a lot of time to complete. When I have a babysitter come for 3 hours, I have to make a decision. Am I gonna do work on my business? Am I gonna edit my book? Or am I gonna do my yoga for the day? My gratitude practice takes less than 5 minutes a day. And yet, because I've done it so consistently for so long, those compounded effects fill me up and allow for me to feel really good, even when my mind is telling me that I shouldn't, or even when outer stresses seem like it's a lot. So the practice is something that's really accessible and also requires little to no equipment, little to no capacity. It's something that can be done with one hand when I'm holding a baby. And that also for me kind of allows me to sense that I'm doing something for me to start the day no matter what. So I've spent a lot of time in my bed or by my bed resting during my postpartum recovery, and having my journal right on my bedside, just arm's reach away, makes it so easy to do. And the last thing I wanted to share is that a couple of times I have flipped through and kind of read through former entries from my pregnancy, from days or weeks prior. And I gotta say, it's really incredible how many moments that I've recorded that in my active mind right now, I have forgotten about. And so getting to revisit them and to really feel them again, it feels like a rainy day fund for joy and thankfulness and appreciation. It really is something like this savings bank. And when I look back and revisit them, it's almost overwhelming how much good and how much love and joy is available at all times. If you are thinking about starting a practice, I highly recommend that you find someone or a group that you can be accountable to in the early days as you build up that habit. And for me personally, I've always worked well kind of coloring within the lines. So having a template, however simple, can make a big difference. That's why I not only use, but I also created this gratitude journal, which is available on my website, lizzieliao.com. Other people, many friends, don't necessarily need a template, and so they just use a blank notebook, or they'll write it in a note on their phone, but definitely having some structure can be really helpful. Excuse me. Anyways, I just wanted to drop in and share that because it's something that could have easily gone by the wayside, but because I feel the benefits so strongly, I feel so committed to it. And I highly, highly recommend, encourage, invite you to experiment with it in your life and see how it feels for you too.